Hi folks. So I was getting ready to leave to go pick my kids up from their aunt. They had a sleepover at her house. And I found two of the neighbor dogs in my yard. Now, the driveway, they actually live on the opposite side over there. We've had an issue with these dogs coming over just in front of the goat paddock, as well as on the driveway. When I've pulled in, they've come and run and barked at me. I've tried to speak with the owners in the past. I've called the dog warden twice. I know the dog warden for a fact has spoken to them. But anyway, they came down the driveway, and most of the time, my two LGDs deter them by barking at them right at the fence, and they'll turn around and leave. Well, yesterday, apparently they're getting very brave, because they came down the driveway, and I was getting ready. I was still in the house. I was just putting my shoes on, and my house dog went berserk. And they were at, you see the brown gate on the front of the coop, of the chicken run? Both dogs, and these aren't small dogs. The one dog probably weighs at least 50 pounds. The other one's probably closer to 75. Were both right there. Now, I have a few chickens that will fly over the fence and like to free range, and I allow it. Because they stay in the yard. And then I also have ducks. Now, most of my ducks can fly, but I do have a couple of them that can't. So I was very worried. I ran out with no shoes on, screaming and yelling at these dogs. They took off into my back pasture, which is behind the coops back in over here. My oldest son, my teenager, came out, threw his boots on, and he went after the dogs while I went to the neighbors. Thankfully, someone was home. I think most of the time they just let them run when they are home. And I spoke with him and made it very clear that this has been an issue, that they've been coming on my property, that they're antagonizing my animals, and that this time they were clear in my backyard after my chickens, and that they need to figure out how to keep their dogs at home and not allow them to be running loose, because I cannot afford to lose livestock. Now, our law here states that if there is a dog that is, we have leash laws here. So if the dog is loose and comes on your property and threatens or kills livestock, you do have the right to shoot them. I really do not want to do that. It is not the dog's fault that their owners are being negligent. And you know, I understand everybody's dogs can get loose occasionally. Even ours have gotten loose I have a video on when Riley was getting out. But I solved the problem so I can keep my dog home. This is something that happens all the time. They just let them go out to go to the bathroom. They don't watch them, and they just let them run. They don't have a fence. And then the dogs just take off and wander around the neighborhood. And when, you know, you've got somebody that's got chickens and things, that's not a good thing. So they need to stay home. And that way I don't have to worry about them being in my yard and threatening my livestock. So hopefully, I was very nice, but I was very adamant that these dogs need to stay home, and they cannot be on my property, because if they do threaten my livestock again, or if they kill any of my animals, that I will be taking action against them. So this is just an update, and I gotta go. Someone's yelling for me. Talk at you guys later.